Hey, hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today in this series of multi-threading in Java, we will see about the life cycle of a thread. So a thread can be in any of the five states. It can be in new, runnable, running, blocked, or terminated. Here we are considering five states, but according to Java consider only four states of the thread. That is new, runnable, blocked, and terminated. For easy understanding purpose, we'll consider running stage also. So what are the different stages? So a new stage, when the thread instance has been created, created a thread class, and you have created an instance of a thread, but thread.start method has not been called. It is then thread will be in a new state. As soon as we'll call the thread.start method, thread is ready to be scheduled for running, but it has not been scheduled by thread scheduler. Then the thread will be in the runnable state. So a state when we create an instance of a thread, but we are not called the thread.start method, thread will be in a new state. But as soon as we'll call thread.start method, but thread has not been scheduled by thread scheduler. It is in the runnable state. After runnable state, the thread can go in running state. That means as soon as the thread scheduler found an empty bucket where the thread can run, a thread will start processing the commands whatever we have provided in thread.run method, and thread will move to running state. After running state, a thread can go in either of the two states. One is terminated, other is blocked waiting or timed waiting. There is very minor difference between blocked waiting and timed waiting. We'll see it. So after running state, if the thread is waiting for some resources to be free, for some locks to be acquired on objects, or if we'll call object.wait method or thread.sleep method, the thread will have to wait for certain amount of time. Then thread will be in either blocked waiting or timed. Now we'll see the difference between waiting and timed waiting. So as the name suggests, the only difference between waiting and timed waiting is thread is waiting for certain amount of time, then it will be in timed waiting state. This state can be achieved by calling thread.sleep method or object.wait method by providing a timeout. Timeout is nothing but thread.sleep method takes one parameter, which is like for how long thread should sleep or thread should wait. So that is called a timeout. Like for that amount of time, thread will not process anything and thread will be in a timed waiting state. If thread is waiting for some resources to be free or some lock to be acquired, then thread will be in a blocked or waiting state. After these states, the thread can again go to runnable state. Like after the thread.sleep timeout is over, thread will again start processing and it will again go to runnable and then a running state. And after the thread execution is completed, or if thread is interrupted, the thread will be terminated and the thread will achieve the state of termination. That is the fifth stage, which is terminated state. So now we will see an example. So here you can see I have a static class myThread which implements a runnable interface. So as we have seen in the previous video, runnable interface, any class which implements runnable interface, it has to implement one method which is a run method. So in this run method, what we were doing is we are looping from I is equals to 1 to 3. We are printing the current count. But if I is equals to 1, thread will wait for 1 second. That is 1000 milliseconds. Now we will see our main class. So in our main class, we have created a new thread, new instance of that thread and wrapped it with a thread class. Then we are printing the state of that thread after we have just created an instance. And then we are calling the thread.start method on that, and then until a thread will reach the termination state, we are printing the state of that thread and we are calling thread.sleep method for 700 milliseconds. So this is a precise value I have given based on the thread.sleep I have given in the myThread class. And then at the end, after I'll come out of the while loop, I'm printing the state of the thread. Now we'll see what is the output of the thread. So as soon as the line 1 of the main class, that is thread t is equals to new thread, will execute, thread instance will be created. And after that, when we'll print the thread state, you can see thread will be in the new state. That is, thread has been created but not started. So as soon as we call thread.start and we'll go inside a while loop, and the thread state will change to runnable, and then thread wait for 700 milliseconds, and meanwhile it will print the count. So don't get confused between this thread.sleep 700 and thread.sleep 1000. This thread.sleep 1000 is for current thread, that is my thread. But this thread.sleep 700 is for the main thread, like for a main program. So this thread.sleep, this current count will be printed to 1, and then my thread will wait for 1 second. And then next time when the 700 millisecond will be completed, we'll reach the state of timed waiting. So we have reached the state of timed waiting because we are using thread.sleep. So it is a timed waiting, or we are providing a timeout function like wait for certain amount of time. After this, again the thread count will start. It will print 2 and it will be a successful completion of this thread, and then we'll come out of the while loop and the thread state will become terminated.